You son of a bitch.
Oh, that's so good. You like the new intro?
Oh, yeah. Those dance moves are epic.
I sent that to Jordan yesterday, and I was like, look what I made. And he has no idea.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't rat you out.
Well, that's good. So, well, welcome, everybody. I mean, I guess the good thing is no one's tuned in, so no one saw it live. Like, they're not going to be commenting on your dance moves during this video yet. So,
yeah, it's coming.
Welcome, everybody, to 8 Times Up Outdoors. This is our Lake Trout Live, episode 2, which this one is going to have absolutely nothing to do with lake trout. We just thought it was a cool name and a way that we could do a live video every week and talk about all things fishing. So each week will kind of be a different thing depending on what we're fishing for, where we're headed, those kind of things. Or if it's the middle of winter, we may just be bored out of our mind and trying to figure out something to talk about. So this week, though, we're stoked because we have a pretty big trip coming up, right?
Absolutely.
Where are we headed?
Trip of the year.
Say what?
It's the second biggest trip of the year.
It is. Where are we going?
We're going to Powell.
Lake Powell, which, I forgot to get that. I'll get that. And we're headed to Lake Powell. This will be Chris's first time ever going to Lake Powell, right?
Absolutely. I had an opportunity to go one time with my uncle, but Mom didn't let me go because apparently my uncle's not very responsible.
That seems fair.
Yeah. Good parent and all.
I got look at this. Jason's tuned in, said he just backed up 20 seconds, loves the dance moves. Thank you, Jason. Natalie's here too. Jason and Nat, some of our favorite supporters out in Utah. Thank you guys for being here. You're the best. So Lake Powell. So probably, this probably got real. What do you think? 2 weeks ago is when we were like, oh, we're going.
Yeah, we got things to do.
Yeah. And so I think both of us have kind of been scrambling and trying to get everything ready for this trip. So what have you been working on for like the last week, would you say?
Organization and minimizing as much as I can. Kind of trying to lower some weight, only take what I'm going to need and use, and not have a bunch of the, not be my typical bougie self.
Yeah, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Because I'm fancy.
Yeah. When we go to Taylor, we're kind of spoiled in that we have all the room we could ever want. And so there's really nothing that we leave behind. We take poker tables, we take cornhole boards, we take everything. For this trip, it's a little different because we're dropping in at Bullfrog, and then the plan is to go about 20 miles northeast towards Good Hope Bay and stop a little bit before Good Hope Bay. And there's 5 of us total going. So we're going to start out with 3 people on Chris's boat, which is actually the smaller of the 2 boats, and 2 people on my boat, but all the gear that goes with it, and just hope and pray that we can make it 20 miles.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'd say that the biggest thing that I've been working on is ways, because I've had this happen in the past. Like Ty said, my boat typically is the smaller of the ones we use. Stepping on fishing rods and sitting on reels and breaking crap, and it's just not. I just don't want to do that anymore.
But so this may be jumping ahead a little, but we'll get to part of the DIY thing that we've done. So you just did like retrofitted a set of Cast King rod holders to go on the edge of your boat, right?
Yeah, I've got that because I have a tracker. I have that Versa track that runs along the side. So if you have a certain type of bolt, the head of the bolt goes into the track, and then you can move it back and forth wherever you want on that track, and then tighten it down with wing nuts. And so I've used that to hold just about everything to the outside of the boat. And it's nice because it keeps things out of the center of the boat, and I don't have to drill holes and kind of permanently attach everything to some place that I'm not certain that that's exactly where I want it.
Right.
So it's been nice.
We'll put a link for the Cast King. We're not sponsored or anything. We don't even have the Amazon account where we get paid for that. So Chris bought a couple of them, or bought a set of them and mounted them. And I'll have you talk about that in just a second. Then I ended up actually buying 2 of them because I thought they were better than the one set that I had currently on my boat. But they're dual, like, sided rod holder. But the thing that we both kind of loved about them is that the rods alternate which direction they're going, which makes them way easier to get in and out. And that was the piece for me that I was like, holy crap, like that's so much easier. So how these are designed to be hung like on a garage door or on a wall somewhere, right, and then they just store your rods there. How did you retrofit them to be on the boat?
Some redneck ingenuity.
I said last week, both you and I have a little bit, maybe a lot bit of redneck in us.
Oh yeah. No, I took basically a flat piece of aluminum, and then I attached the rod holder part to that using bolts, and then I took L brackets and basically reversed them. So like one L bracket comes up from the boat, like itself, attached to the track, and then the other one sits on top of that L bracket and holds that piece of aluminum vertically. Which, right, having 2 of them, huh?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, having one on each side, it's nice because then it allows the rods to lay horizontally across the boat, and they're only 17 inches tall or whatever. So like total, I think I'm taking up like 18 inches of space from the top edge of the boat up. So even sitting in a chair, you can still cast over the top of the rods and have no issue.
Yeah, you had these up and running when we went up to Blue Mason, Taylor, a couple of weeks ago. I said we weren't going to talk about lake trout. When we were lake trout fishing. And yeah, they were great. They kept everything out of the way, easy to cast over and work around. It was awesome. And we actually have a picture. So we'll throw this up here if I can make this work. Right here they are. So take a look. Yep. We've got the 2 vertical Cast King rod holders there that are mounted to that aluminum piece, and then a couple of L brackets that attach to that tracking on the edge of the boat. So this has been a super efficient way just to kind of clean up the deck of the boat, especially for a small boat. Because yours is 16 foot, correct?
Yeah, but it's only 8 feet wide. No.
Yeah,
about 8 feet.
So there's not a lot of deck room, especially if you get 2 or 3 guys on it moving around. Stuff can get in the way really fast. And this has been kind of a great solution for that. So it worked out well.
Yeah, and it goes on. I could put it on either side. It doesn't matter. I always keep it on that side just because when I'm driving the boat, it makes it easier for me to reach up there and grab a rod or whatever if I need to.
Yeah. No, it was
I'm
great.
happy with it. My last redneck setup, kind of similar. It worked. It just, one, it was uglier, and two, it held the rods vertically and not horizontally, so it took up a lot more space.
Right. Jason's chiming in about your rod holder.
Yeah.
Getting your rod in and out is so cumbersome without a holder.
Yeah.
Jason's at home jump clapping half of the stuff we're saying right now, probably. So
I can't blame him.
Yeah. So you did that. So one of the things that you have been talking about for Lake Powell, which is a funny thing to me, is you are so freaking excited to try to catch catfish at Lake Powell.
Yes.
So you started making some sort of god awful concoction with hot dogs.
I should have got that. I should have got that out here with me, but I think it would have probably killed me.
Yeah, hot dogs and Kool-Aid, right?
Yeah. I took 15 hot dogs and cut them up into like 1.5-inch chunks, and then I put them in a bucket, and then I took probably a 1/4 cup of minced garlic and put it in the bucket, and then 3 packets of cherry Kool-Aid and some water. And I mixed it all together. Supposedly, according to the internet, which you know it has to be true because it's on the internet,
right?
Fish like the color red and they like hot dogs, which I mean that's the American way, and the smell of garlic. So, but yeah, I want to catch a big freaking catfish, man.
Natalie says you need to go noodling.
No,
that's not how you want to catch one.
Nope.
Hard
yep.
pass.
Yeah. I watched some of those guys do the noodling stuff, and like they're talking about snapping turtles that bite their fingers off, and I don't want to. Nope, I don't want to get that wrong.
Nope. Yeah, I think Lake Powell would be a little different too, but yeah. So you also made up a rod holder that you're hoping is going to work for some catfishing.
Yeah, right? I got that bad boy right here.
Yeah. Speaking of redneck ingenuity.
Yeah.
So
this is the part that I used on last year's rod holder for the boat model. I repurposed it.
Yeah, that's a popular thing these days.
Yeah. But I know I had some angle iron lying around, and then that PVC that I fabricated into a rod holder last year and put it together.
And that's what, like 3.5 feet tall, probably?
Maybe 4.
Okay. So drive it into the sand and hope it doesn't take it away.
Sharpen the side or angle the side or whatever.
All right.
So I could hammer it into the beach, and then my plan is to throw my hot dog bait out there, set my rod in that holder, and sit on the beach and drink beer and wait till the shit show starts.
Knowing us, we shouldn't have to wait long for that piece, at least.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know why I have this infinity to catch this big old catfish or a catfish at Lake Powell. Like all the fish at Lake Powell, why I'm hooked up with the catfish theory. But man, I'm stuck on it.
Yeah, that's funny to me. Like I have no real interest in catfish being at Lake Powell, but Chris sure does. So
yeah, I even bought some. I'll tell you about it. Well, we'll talk about it later when we talk about all the dumb stuff I've bought on Amazon.
That's right. I'm trying to. So Jason just asked if we put in at Bullfrog. Yes, that is where we are headed. We will launch out of Bullfrog, and then we're going about 20 miles north of Bullfrog after we launch. So we'll have a good, probably almost 1 hour boat ride out of Bullfrog to where we're actually going to set up camp at, which is part of the reason.
It's only an hour.
Yeah, We're hoping. Well, we may have to put the stop at an hour just because of gas consumption and everything else. But our goal is about 20 miles, and hopefully it takes an hour. That's what we're going for. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna have to lose some weight to make that happen.
You got to talk to the other two guys on your boat too.
I wasn't going to throw them under the bus on the internet, but yeah.
Oh, I will at this point. So, what is going on? I was trying to, there it goes. All right. Hey, keep talking for a sec. I'm getting something done here.
Oh, are you?
Good job.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure out what you want me to talk about.
I'm gonna have to put your dance video on again here in a second if you don't start talking.
Oh God! So the other day, I shit you not, there I was trying to noodle catfish, and yeah.
So while Chris is excited about catfishing, one of the main reasons we go down kind of early September, we wait till the second weekend because Labor Day is like amateur hour at Lake Powell. So no one that really wants to go to Lake Powell goes during Labor Day weekend because it's chaos. So we go the second weekend of Lake Powell. It's usually pretty quiet as far as people. There's actually supposed to be a pretty significant temperature drop this weekend, and then it comes back up a little, but shouldn't quite be back in the hundreds for us while we're there. But early September is the start of the striper boil season, which is what, I mean, if you have never gone striper fishing at Lake Powell, it will change your life. So let's see if I can pull this up here. No, maybe it's not going to work.
Just because I'm excited to catch a catfish doesn't mean I'm not excited for the striper boil stuff. Just so we're clear.
That's right. So this year is Lake Powell Chasing Boils 2023. That's what we're calling it. That was a logo designed by our good friend Darren Ham, who does a bunch of graphic designs for us. But we are primarily going after stripers, which I've had the opportunity to go, what would it be, 3 times now? A couple of times I went with a friend of ours named Mike, who took us down there, and he kind of grew up on Lake Powell, so learned a ton from him about how to fish for boils, and that was kind of my first experience with it. And then 2 years ago, I took my wife down, and we just went to Lake Powell. It was the same weekend. It was second weekend in September, and we went down kind of just for a vacation / a little bit of fishing if we got lucky. And man, I tell you what, so striper boils, for anyone that doesn't know, during this time of year, the striped bass will kind of school up and they chase smaller shad schools all over the lake. And when they find one, they will come up from underneath them, chasing them, and cause the water to look like it's boiling. And when that happens, it is like the greatest fishing of all time. And so a couple of years ago, when my wife and I went, we pulled into our camp spot, which I'll actually throw this up here. I'll show you our camp spot. So we pull in to our camp spot here, and literally we start unloading the boat. And in the process of unloading the boat, there's a boil that started kind of right here in the center of where we were camping. And so let's see, that was sunrise there. So in the first, like you can see the boat in the background, in the first 5 minutes we were there, I just handed a pole to my wife and said, just start casting, put something silver on it. And she caught her first striper, like within 10 minutes of being on the water. This is a buddy that is going with us this year. This is our friend Pete. And that one striper is probably pushing 28 inches, I bet. But this was from one of the first trips we went on where we were catching stripers. That's just a largemouth. There's rod holders. So here's another picture. So where we camped, you can see the boat. We slept on the boat a couple years ago. And when we would wake up, I didn't even set an alarm this year because every morning the fish just started boiling off of our boat. And I would just hear them splashing. And I roll out of bed, put on my flip flops that Chris said it looked like I'm still wearing sandals with, and just start
Still
catching.
wearing socks.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, wearing socks, and just start catching fish immediately. And so that's the primary goal, I think, for this trip, which you've never experienced.
No.
So you don't know.
Yeah. I believe you, though.
It's going to change your life.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I still want to catch a catfish, though.
I have no doubt we will catch catfish. So that seems like the easiest proposition out of all of this, actually. Not sinking any boats, making it 20 miles upstream, those kind of things seem harder than catching a catfish right now.
Yeah, that's true.
But
would you call Labor Day weekend at Powell like amateur hour, or would you compare it more to like frat guy at country jam hour?
Both.
Yeah, I could see that being the case.
Yep. It's a lot of people way too many people staying close and trying to, I don't know. It gets crowded real fast and people are dumb. So, Natalie, yes, they do. We will not be probably trying to catch them as much, but we will be using them to try to catch fish a lot. So crayfish, crawfish, crawdads, whatever you want to call them. Those are one of the best. That's a great segue. Thank you, Natalie. One of the best patterns to use while at Lake Powell. And so I think we've both stocked up on two things primarily. We stocked up on lots of big silver shad looking things for chasing the stripers, and then crawdad patterns for the smallmouth, largemouth off of rocks and stuff like that. We've had a lot of success with crawdad patterns.
You ever tried to eat those
crawdads?
Yeah.
Oh, I love a good crawfish boil.
Man, I'm not saying it's not good, right? Like, it's delicious. I'm not arguing that. The amount of work that it takes to get full off of that, I just don't know that's worth it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not trying to bash on it. Just saying. It's a lot of work.
Here's what I'll tell you. I think it's one of those things that when you get better at it, it becomes much more efficient. Because and I will tell you that Natalie, who is tuned in, is as Southern as they come. She is a Southern belle. We went in Kentucky to I don't even remember what the restaurant was. Natalie, if you chime in, let me know if you remember the restaurant. We went to a restaurant in Kentucky that had crawfish boil, and she made me look like a fool eating crawdad. Like, she is a pro at it. Like, just here you go. She said, I can put away 5 pounds in an hour. Yeah. It's impressive. It's awesome. But I get what you're saying. It's a lot of work. I'll lean towards the sausage and the corn and the potatoes just to get full. But the crawdads are good.
Yeah.
They're real good.
God, can't deny it. I'm just not good enough at it yet.
Yeah. Crawfish étouffée, man. If I could make a dish, I would want to make that. So, yeah. So we've covered some DIY stuff with the rod holders. Are you reading the comments? Yeah. Okay. I'll leave that one off. Someone else, you can go find Natalie's latest comment. So, so we covered DIY. We covered what works at Powell. Big silver Castmasters are my favorite thing for striper boils because they're just so easy to throw 100 yards at them or whatever and get in the middle of them from a distance. I got a couple of big,
so many silver Castmasters between our two tackle boxes that we could outfit an army.
Yeah, yes. Except when friggin' Will from the podcast comes on my boat and then he throws like 5 of them in the water in his first 5 casts. So
isn't he a fly fisherman?
Yeah, he is. But
you'd think he'd be better at tying knots to keep stuff on.
Yeah, he blamed it all on my old line that I had just switched out before that trip. But
of course he did.
Yeah. Stinking whiskey the poo.
Who doesn't call people on their birthday?
Yeah, I know. Do you still cry yourself to sleep because of that?
I do. I'll never be the same.
DIY, we covered what's working, or at least what we hope is going to work for this trip. I put on a Bimini top for this trip, which I'm really, really excited about. I'm going to look up. Hold please. I want to look up where I bought this from to tell everybody. So I bought this from a website called Overton's. They had a good deal on the Bimini top that I wanted, and I would say never buy from them ever again.
Oh, shots fired.
That's right. So I got my Bimini top in, and I'm super excited. I open the box. I take everything out of the box. And in my old age, I've become much more careful about reading instructions and installing things, especially with the boat, because I've had some bad experiences trying to do DIY stuff on the boat and it not going well. And so I've tried to do better about that. And I open up the box and open all the packaging, go through the entire thing, and there are no instructions in this. And so what should have been probably maybe a 2-hour job tops took me probably close to 7 hours to install this Bimini top because I was watching different YouTube videos. I couldn't find one on a specific model I had and all of this stuff. So it was a nightmare. Like you talked about not wanting to put holes in your boat. I think I put 12 extra holes in my railing because I didn't have instructions and it was a nightmare. So, but we got it installed. It's good to go. Maybe we should do an 8 times up video on how that actually goes so that anybody else that orders from them, now it's like, hey, the title would just be like ordered Bimini top from Overton's, no instructions. Here's your guide. And I could cover it. So
speaking of stuff, what?
Oh, I was gonna say, where are we going? I think we're going the same place. So go ahead.
Speaking of stuff, 1, that we hope works while we're at Powell, and 2, that you ordered and it may or may not turn out very good.
Hold on. Before you go, I need to, let me see if I need to.
Oh man, here comes another shot at me.
No.
All right. No more dance moves.
We need to, here we go. Ready? It's time for everyone's favorite part of the show. Dumb stuff from Amazon. Right.
Yeah.
You showed me this before we started, and it definitely qualifies. What do you got?
Well, so in my research on how to catch large catfish, it talked about dropping lights down and, lighting up the water at night and doing all this stuff, which I don't know. The only times I have ever used light while fishing is spotlight fishing. And that, that was simple. But whatever. So I read these things on the internet, which are true because they're on the internet. And it says to light up the water to help catch catfish. So I'm perusing in the middle of the night, Amazon. And I come across these lights that are water activated, and which I didn't believe right out of the gate. and they attach to your fishing line. So it's on the internet. It works. So I bought it. I don't think they're going to work.
But hold on. But you have one with you.
I do. I'm a little embarrassed to bring it out, but I'm going to do it.
Jump cut.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna put you. Here you go. So now it's just you. Let's see this light and how they work.
So this is the light. It's got a little hoop right here you can attach a snap swivel to or tie your line to, or I don't know how I'm gonna hook it up, but I'll figure it out. And then there's a light on the inside. And I didn't believe this, so I had to test it and show my kids, but glass of water.
I love that it's like, it doesn't just turn on. It's like every
yeah. So, and then when you pull it out of the water, it doesn't work anymore. So, I mean, that's kind of neat, I thought, but I'm like, this ain't going to work for nothing, but I'm going to try it.
Yeah. So I actually think it'd be cool if you got to get in frame here. So if you tied like a snap swivel or one of those 3-way swivels, right?
Yeah.
And then a snap swivel may be easier, but if you had the weight on there and then a leader out, you could put the light right there, let it sink down and your bait float up.
Yeah. I think I'm going to kind of put it right in the middle because I bought a couple of those 3-way swivels. And so hook the weight at the bottom and then have a leader go out off the side with the hook and the bait. And then I think I'm going to have that light attached right in the middle.
Okay.
See what it goes.
Do they float? Have you tested that? We're going to find out.
No.
All right. So they're going to sink to the bottom no matter what.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be like a freaking disco down there.
Natalie said, does it work in whiskey? Freeze it in a cube of ice? I wonder if it'd work if it was frozen.
I don't know. I got 5 of them.
We can find out.
They came in a pack.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
You didn't buy 5 separate ones.
No, I bought 1 pack of 5.
There we go. Yeah, that'll be fun to try out. We'll see if it works.
I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? I wasted $15 on Amazon? Meh.
Yeah. All right.
I've wasted more.
That's right.
I will say, speaking of Amazon purchases, I use this bad boy all the time.
Uh-oh, you froze. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So this is a pretty good Amazon purchase, really. So this is like which you probably can't tell in the video, but that's a fan with a built-in mister, right? Battery operated.
Yeah. So it's got 3 speeds for the fan. It's got a LED light on the top. It's got a hook to hang, like if you wanted to hang it from your canopy or something. And then it's got a little reservoir that you could put some water in. And I tested it the other day, and I think you put like a cup and a half, maybe 2 cups of water in it, and lasts for like 90 minutes at misting.
Nice. So, and how long did the battery last when you tested that?
Close to 10 hours.
Dang.
Give or take.
All right. We'll have to put a link. We'll have to put a link for that in the description too. And the lights we'll have to put. So you'll have to send me the links for both of those so we can include those.
Natalie brought up a really good point. The worst that could happen is I could scare the fish away. This is
Natalie, here's the thing you need to know about Chris. If he scares all the fish away, it's going to be like just another day for him. Like he just won't catch anything, and it'll be perfect. Like it'll be nothing out of the ordinary. So,
man, who needs enemies when I got friends like y'all?
It's true. It's true. I can't wait for Jordan to get on one of these and start chiming in and commenting. That'll be
Oh, I
a
can.
good day. That'll be a good day.
Oh man. The last week or so, the last 10 days since I've really kind of kicked it up in like packing and preparing for fishing, the relentless verbal abuse about my fishing or fishing capabilities or lack thereof, however you want to look at it, has increased tenfold
Yeah.
at home. Yep.
Yeah, I've gotten a few texts in the last week that were just, I mean, they almost hurt me a little. Like they were
Yeah.
zingers. Like they were brutal.
Yeah. Both my
So,
kids, Jordan just raising Cain. Oh man.
yeah. It's good for you. I mean, to be fair, you do have the largest fish caught this year between the
This is
two of
true.
us by a substantial margin. So,
No.
which if you haven't seen that video, go watch the 8 times up early spring lake trout. Father
It's a
and father and son memory something. I don't remember the title of it. You can find it on our channel.
it's a big son of a
The giggles is my favorite part. So, yeah. Well, that's good. Your internet worked. We had video. We had people
surprising.
commenting. You
Yep.
know, it was great. So, help us out. We freaking, if you're watching this now or in the future, we've gotten to 199 subscribers like 3 times in the last week and cannot get to 200. Like we get to 199, then we like have 2 unsubscribe, and then we try to get to 200 and go up to 199. Just hasn't happened. Our goal was to get there by the end of August, and currently we have missed that. So hopefully we can get there soon. So make sure you like and subscribe. We tell everyone that we are the crappy YouTube channel, which we're working on. We've put out quite a bit of content in the last month. We're getting there. We're the crappy YouTube channel with amazing Patreon swag. We have some incredible stuff that goes out either once a quarter, once every third, 3 to 4 months, depending on what it is we're putting out. Also, I can't really show it, but this is the shirt that is getting ready to go out to all of our Patreon supporters in the next week or so. It may be next week because of fishing. We'll see if we get it out this week. It's an SPF 50 fishing shirt with the tight lines, cool cans, logo on the back that is incredible. And so if you like fishing stuff, if you like getting cool swag in the mail, go to patreon.com/8 times up outdoors. We only have 2 levels. It's $5 and $10. It's not a lot, but you will get your money's worth for sure if you sign up for Patreon. Am I missing anything else, Chris?
You showed the Chasing Boils logo earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I would venture to guess somebody's got a question of how do they acquire one of those shirts?
You can't. Sorry.
Sure they can. They get a boat and they come fishing with us.
That's right. That's right. You could do that. You could do that. If you can finagle your way onto one of our trips, we usually have pretty good swag on the trips too.
Yep.
So yeah, those were a special release just for the trip. But the cool can shirts, I guess I could pull that up. Hold, please. Talk about something interesting, Chris.
I don't have much interesting.
All right, dance video it is.
Oh, don't do it. Okay, I'll find something to talk about.
I don't know where it's at. Should have been in here.
You know, I'm really interested to see how it goes this year with being at Powell and the red boat, blue boat competition continuing there.
Oh, in another state?
Yeah, in another state, chasing different species of fish and having, well, I guess 2 out of the 3 others will be, they're routine members of both boats. So
It's true.
But we are breaking in a newbie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're bringing our friend Sammy, who has also never been to Lake Powell, and is not much of a fisherman. I think he caught his first, I know he caught his first catfish at Schweitzer. I don't know if it was his first bass. I want to say it was his first bass as well. He's been out a couple times. He's a photographer by trade, does a bunch of stuff. So he's going to be super fun to have with us. My cameraman and our good friend Nate is coming with us, and he hasn't been to Lake Powell in I think close to 20 years is what he said. So he's kind of going back for the first time. And then Pete, that we showed a picture of, he's going with us, who he's traditionally team blue boat, and then Nate is traditionally team red boat for our Taylor Reservoir weekend. Which in this case, man, we have a pretty distinct advantage at that point, because Pete and I have multiple trips under our belt compared to you two.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. That doesn't mean, though, the underdog can win. I mean, look at Rocky Balboa.
It's true. Yep. It's true. Rather be lucky than good any day. All right, here's a good question to close out on. What snacks are you bringing on the trip, and what drinks are you bringing? I know you got a plan for your cool cans for this trip already.
Oh, as far as, yeah, I'm bringing a very specific beer for this trip.
Which
805. It's the 805 Mexican lager. It's kind of like a Corona in a way, but with a little lime. It's got all the fancy stuff for Corona that Corona has, or that you put into Corona already in the can. It's nice, refreshing. We'll be on the beach, hot weather. As far as snacks, though, I'm not a big eater, so I'll probably just have some almonds or beef jerky and call it a day. Yeah, really hoping Pete brings all the beef jerky like he promised.
I was like, I've got beef jerky, walnuts, Cliff Bars. I bought one other thing too. I don't remember what it was now. One other thing for snack food. But the thing I am most excited about in the snack world is my wife told me she bought marshmallows and peanut butter today to make peanut butter Rice Krispie treats for the trip.
I'm excited for that too.
Man, that's like my favorite breakfast when I'm fishing. So
I don't know that it'll probably get broken out on the boat, but I know it'll get broken out shore quite a bit. Jordan's making her homemade salsa.
Oh, yeah.
So chips and salsa will be a thing.
Always good. Yeah, I haven't figured out what drinks I'm taking yet. I don't know. Definitely, I'll be taking some PBR in honor of our friend Corey, for sure. He just left his job at the radio station and is kind of living the life right now. So I want to make sure I can toast him from the shore somewhere. But I don't know what else I'm bringing that way yet. There will be some good bourbon for sure that I pack. I may do a cocktail. I was telling Chris I may try to save space on needing more beer. I may try to do a batch cocktail to kind of reserve some space for that. So we'll see. We'll have to do a recap video and talk about what the favorites were.
Oh yeah.
So all right. Well, that was great. Thank you, Natalie, Jason, everybody else that tuned in. You guys are awesome. We appreciate your Patreon support and just your friendship and being two of the coolest people we know. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all those things. If you have questions about anything we talked about here, make sure you ask them in the comments. We are pretty active on replying to those. If you didn't watch the first one, go back and watch the first Lake Trout live video where we actually talked about Lake Trout in that one. And with that, tight lines.
Cool cans.
We'll see you next time.